Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a really cool tool that's changing how we connect, well, everything. It's called Node-RED. And look, if you've ever wished you could get different devices and services to talk to each other, but you don't want to become a full-time coder to do it, then this is for you. Okay, so let's just dive right in with a problem that pretty much everyone in tech is facing these days, whether you're running a high-tech factory or just trying to get your smart home to work right. I mean, really think about that for a second. You've got this physical sensor on a machine, right? And you need to pull some data from, say, a weather API on the internet. And then you want to push all of that into a database that lives in the cloud. You know, those things speak completely different languages. Trying to wire them up the old way is just, it's a nightmare. And here's the real kicker. How do you pull that off without writing a literal mountain of custom code? We're talking weeks of writing, debugging, and then maintaining it all. For so many engineers, that time and complexity is just a total deal breaker. But what if there was another way to do it? A much more visual way? Well, that brings us to the tool that completely flips the script on this problem. Let's talk about Node-RED. So what is it? At its heart, Node-RED is a flow-based, low-code tool. And those are the two magic words. Flow-based just means you get to see how your data moves from one place to another. And low-code means you can do some incredibly powerful stuff with very, very little actual programming. So what does that actually mean for you? It means you can visually connect things that were never meant to talk to each other. You can grab data from a piece of factory equipment, mix it with info from a website, tweak it, and then shoot it over to a live dashboard or into the cloud. It's basically a central hub for all your data. Now, to get how Node-RED works, you don't have to be some kind of programming genius. Honestly, you just need to understand three really simple ideas. These are the building blocks for literally everything you're going to do. First up, we have the node. The absolute best way to think about a node is like a digital Lego block. Seriously, each block does one single specific thing. You've got a block for reading a temperature sensor, a block for sending an email, a block for talking to a database. You just grab the ones you need. So what do you do with those Lego blocks? You build a flow. A flow is just a bunch of nodes that you connect together. You literally draw little wires from the output of one node to the input of another. And that's it. That's you visually programming your logic. Okay, but how does the actual information get from one block to the next? That's where the message object comes in. Everyone just calls it message, or MSG. Think of it like a little digital courier carrying a package of data along the wires you drew from one node to the next. And the best part is, what's inside that package isn't complicated at all. It's just a simple data format called JSON. The most important part is usually something called msg.payload. That's where the real data lives, you know, the temperature reading or whatever. It's all designed to be super straightforward. Pretty simple, right? All right, that's enough theory. Let's talk about the real world. Where are people actually using this stuff to solve real problems? And the answer is kind of everywhere. It's a huge deal in industrial automation, connecting up smart factories. But at the same time, it's insanely popular with home automation hobbyists and folks doing data logging projects. That flexibility is for sure one of its superpowers. So let me paint you a picture of a classic industrial setup. You've got a PLC controlling some machine. Node-RED comes in and acts like the central traffic cop. It pulls data from the PLC, sends a copy over to a live dashboard so people can see what's happening, and also pushes that same data to the cloud for storage. Node-RED is the glue that holds it all together. To get data into a flow, Node-RED has a bunch of awesome built-in nodes. For example, the inject node. It's literally just a button you can click to start your flow. Super handy for testing. And the HTTP in node lets you create your own web API endpoint with a single drag and drop. It's wild. And once that data's moving, you can do all sorts of things to it. The switch node is one of my favorites. It's like a visual if-else statement. You can say, hey, if the temperature is over 30, send the message down this path. If not, send it down that path. And if you ever need to do something really custom, the function node lets you write a little bit of standard JavaScript. Okay, this brings us to a really, really important point. To use any tool well, you gotta know what it's for, but you also have to know what it's not for. And a big point of confusion is how Node-RED fits in with a traditional PLC. Let's just break it down. A PLC is built for one thing: hard, real-time machine control. It has to be blazing fast and super reliable. Node-RED, on the other hand, is built for integration and moving data around. Its job isn't to control a robot arm in milliseconds. Its job is to get data from A to B to C. So this leads us to the golden rule, the one thing you should absolutely remember. Use the PLC for control. Use Node-RED for integration and visualization. They aren't enemies, they're partners, and they're each amazing at their own specific job. So, to be super clear, you should definitely grab Node-RED when you need to connect different systems, when you want to build a prototype really fast, when you're moving data around, or when you need a quick dashboard. It's just fantastic for that stuff. But, and this is equally important, stay away from it for things that need that hard, real-time control. You would never, ever replace safety-critical PLC logic or high-speed motor control with a Node-RED flow. It's all about using the right tool for the right job. All right, let's bring this all home. What are the big ideas you should walk away with after all this? Look, Node-RED is a total game changer because it makes automation accessible to everyone. It's easy to learn, it runs on a tiny little Raspberry Pi just as well as it runs in the cloud, it supports almost any protocol you can imagine, and, maybe best of all, it's completely free and open source. So what this tool really does is lower the barrier to entry. It gives you the power to create connections that used to be incredibly hard to make. And that really only leaves one question left to ask. Now that you can connect pretty much anything, what are you going to build first?